Hi guys, Candia here with the Age Journal. It's been a while. I am back to share this fun project with you that my friend and I are doing. We're doing a personal swap. She is Cathy Cuts Paper here on YouTube, and I'll link her below in the description box. We're doing a loaded envelope, and I wanted to show you all the stuff I'm putting in the envelope first, or not envelope, sorry, file folder, a loaded file folder. And after I'm all done showing you everything I'm going to put in the file folder, I'll show you the file folder that I made and an extra one I made that I'm going to put in my shop. I had a lot of fun making it, and I think I'm going to start making some to put in my shop. You can tell me if you think I should put them in my shop loaded, or if you think I should put them in my shop for you guys to load. Let me know what you think in your comments below in the description bar, or in the comments, sorry, not in the description bar. But I had a lot of fun with it. So let's dig in. We were supposed to make some 5 tags that were stamped and coffee dyed. So what I did is I tea or coffee dyed. So I tea dyed these tags, and then I did some background stamping on them. I don't know if you can tell. I did some little bit of script stamping. They all each have a different type of background stamping on them. This one has numbers, or no, yeah, numbers. And this one is like a typewriter font. So that's what I did, and then I stamped the actual image on them that I want. I think they turned out really cute, and I did them all kind of in a bird theme. So this bird says, "A bird doesn't sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song." And I stamped a couple feathers flying around on the tag there. This tag says, "Keep a green bough in your heart, and perhaps a songbird will come," with a little bird on a branch. This one is just a little bird trying to fly free from the bird cage with some feathers flying away there. This one is a beautiful stamp of a peacock, and it says, "Life itself is a wonderful adventure." And then this little stamp is a collage stamp, and it says "Sing" on it, and it's just such a beautiful stamp. I just love it. I love all the stamps, actually. That's why I have them all. And then we were supposed to make some 2 altered paper clips. So on this one I combined a tag from Denise's shop, the vintage, oh, now I can't remember what her shop is. Let me see here. I have the paper here from it somewhere. It's a Tattered Dream on Etsy. I used quite a few of her things in this, putting this together, so I'll show you what I used. She has some beautiful stuff in her shop. So, and then I used some bling. I used this pretty piece of paper. It was like a journaling card that I just folded in half and glued onto the paper clip. So that's the journaling card peeking through there. And then this is a piece of packaging from a something I got. I don't remember what I got in it. And then a pretty little resin flower and some lace with some bling on the back there. And then this paper clip, altered paper clip, I did again with the same idea, where I took a journaling card, a small journaling card, and folded it in half over the paper clip and glued it. And that way it's pretty on both the back side and the front side. And then I made a flower out of some rayon materials and glued a bead there. Had some of that same bling lace coming out, and the same bling I used on there so they kind of tie together a little bit. Then we were supposed to make a bookmark, and as an afterthought, I realized I should have put this flower up on top, because this is a little chunky for being inside the book, so it's kind of like an upside down bookmark. You'll have to use it this way, but the images are this way, so, or you can just use it as a pretty little wall hanging. Because it turned out so cute. So added laces, piled a couple layers of book page together, did a stamping of a poppy on it, added some fun different aged up pieces of fabrics, and I think it turned out real cute. And then we were supposed to alter 5 file cards, file folder card, or index cards, there we go. And so these are what I did. So on this first one, I put this pretty paper in the background and added a little tag type thing here where I put the word treasure, added some vintage buttons, a little label. Oh, I can't think of what those are called. They're when you put around a word, a book plate. There we go. And then Paris, a little stamp about Paris underneath, and then I added this little bird picture. This one I love. It said memories, and did again follow. I did kind of a whole bird theme in throughout this whole everything I did that I put inside the book. So this one has the bird feathers again, flying, fluttering on the page. Used this kind of red and music sheet paper behind in the background. Did a little bit of collaging with some fabric and fake stamp or fake tag, and this is a vintage stamp. And from, well, it's from I think 1982, so yeah, vintage. And then this one I did a butterfly on and says friends, and I did some old book paper and a pretty piece of designer paper with these cute designer buttons and these little punched out hearts. This one I did a picture, cut out this picture of a bicycle out of the designer paper and put lace behind it and a ticket behind it. It says embark, and then some pretty buttons. And then on this one, I collaged a couple different pieces of designer paper and put it on the top of some book page. Put a piece of fabric that I inked up, put the word delight and butterfly with a vintage button in the center of it. And then we were to tea or coffee dye 3 envelopes and embellish them. So my first envelope, I did this, and in addition to, after it was done dyeing it, I also stamped with this piece of foam that my mother-in-law gave me, and it just has just enough texture to make some fun little marks to add to the texture of the paper. So I liked how that looked, so I added that on with coffee dye ink. So they're coffee dyed and then coffee dye ink on top of it as well. Added this lace doily that I took over to the other side, layered it with book page underneath, added a flower on that side and some flowers on this side, and then layered these pretty little this is a little ephemera on there. This one I turned it this way and added lace, this pretty little Tiffany & Company paper I got in a swap, and some little laces and a flower with some bling, and then I added some more of the lace and another flower with bling on that side. And then this one I used some of the Tim Holtz vellum, glued it over some book paper and a ruler, a paper ruler, and did some crocheted lace right here, added some lace and a flower right there. And on the back I just kept it kind of simple with a couple little flowers that I layered and some of that more of that crocheted lace. Then we were supposed to make our own envelopes, 3 of them, out of either book paper or music sheet paper. So I made one out of book paper, and on this side I stamped that same bird with the wording that says sing on it, and I collaged some washi tape on here, and then on this side I stamped a collage stamp that has a butterfly in it. Did the washi tape again and made this into a policy envelope, so it just opens up, and I did some decorative punches on the corners. So that was kind of fun to make. This is the first time I've made a envelope like this. So this I did all by hand, and then these 2 I did on my envelope punch board. So this one I decoupaged this pretty napkin with the birds on it and put a crochet paper doily on the top corner and a stamp. And then I stamped this pretty little envelope stamp on the back side of it. This one I layered up laces and doilies and book paper and flowers, and I think it turned out real cute. And then on the back side I did a book paper heart as well. Let me move these out of the way. And then we were also supposed to do a dangle. So I created this. Now it has, on the front, it has these chain with some beads and some leaf beads hanging down from it. Has lots of different laces and blues and purples and crocheted laces. This right here, this pom-pom trim, is from Denise's shop, and so is this lovely pink soft fuzzy trim. Is from Denise's shop as well. Some rickrack in there, some of that same trim that actually came off some clothing that I used on the bookmark. And I put lots of these little beads that are turquoisey in color in here. They came from a bracelet that I've picked up at a thrift store. This bead also came off of some jewelry that I picked up at a thrift store. This pretty bead I added came from, I don't know where I got that one from, but I just pick up stuff and throw it in my drawers and use it when it suits my fancy. So same with these. This is just something I had in my stash. And then this little heart locket and key I added. And then this little heart charm. And then this pretty little pearl bead I added as well. And then this fun little stretchy purple fabric was from some fabric I picked up at the thrift store that I cut into strips. So lots of fun stuff in here. It turned out so cute. And I just did it in the same method that I'm a Cool Mom does here on YouTube. And I think it just turned out really pretty. Lots of dangles, lots of stuff to find within the ribbons. Okay, and now let's show you the file folder I made to go with it. So, on this I used all kinds of stuff from my stash. As you can see, I did it real lacy and grungy, and I had so much fun with it. So I ripped the file folder in this kind of off to the center left, and rolled it down, added book page or music sheet page to it so it looked like there was something on the inside as I rolled it down. Put book pages and music sheet pages in the background of the whole thing. I added a piece of cardstock down here to make a pocket so that there would be 2 pockets. I sewed along the edging after everything was on. I glued everything first and then gave it a sewn because I wanted that look of as if I sewed it all together. But I wanted the stability that the glue would give as well. I added this little lacy flower up here that my mother-in-law gave me. The word imagination. This is a vintage button from my stash. Some lace that was coming apart from my stash. A tag that I thought looked cute. A little piece of ephemera. This is from a pillowcase from a magazine. And then a little frame around it. This is some doily that was coming apart from in my stash. And again, another vintage stamp that is of a bird, bringing that bird theme to the cover or the pocket, the file folder pocket as well. This is from my stash. Somebody gave me this in a swap as well, but it's from a magazine page. This pretty lace in my swap, I think I got this in a swap as well. This I found at the thrift store. It's a big doily thing that I cut the center out. Some fabric ruler that I have. This my sister gave me. It's off of it was a clothing tag. Some of that, more of that pom-pom trim from Denise's shop, A Tattered Dream. A little piece of crocheted that doily that was coming apart that I cut out a piece of it. Same with this right here. All these are vintage buttons. Some ephemera that I added on here and added crocheted pieces, bits and pieces to it. So that is the pocket file folder that I'm going to put all that stuff in it, and when it's all in here it just looks so scrumptious and yummy and beautiful. I really love it. So that's this one. And then here is, oh, and I forgot, we were supposed to also add 2 flowers to the folder that we made by hand. So I made a book page and music sheet flower and a tissue or streamer tissue flower. So I think these both turned out really cute, and I hope my swap partner Cathy likes everything I made for her. Okay, and then let me show you the file folder that I'm going to be putting in my shop. And that is this one. And this one I did kind of in a vintage fill as well. I just used all book pages for the background on this one. Did some trim up at top and on the top of the front pocket. I put this journaling card on here because I just love the colors that it went with, kind of what I was doing, kind of greens and pinks. And then this word beautiful with some thin linen type, not little cotton type fabric underneath that's tattered and frayed. This, I have 3 layers of stuff here. So I have this trim that's the pink and fuzzy trim on top, the pom-pom trim in the middle, and then this eyelash trim underneath. And all 3 of these are in Denise's shop from A Tattered Dream. I know it sounds like I probably am on her design team, but I'm not. I just happen to like all the things I purchased from her shop recently. And then this is a piece of ephemera I cut out that I had of this cute little girl, and I backed it with this flower designer paper that I had trimmed out of a piece of larger sheet of paper. And then I have this piece of paper that had the alphabet in this pretty old school writing lettering on it that I thought just kind of went with the same style as this little girl was. And then down here I put this postcard with some birds on it, and then this little stamp that shows some postcards and a pin with it as well that I thought went together with it. Put this flower trim on the bottom. Put the same lacy flower that I put on the other folder. Added this little tag that I stamped a flower on and just wound up the cord. And then I added this little flower right underneath the lacy flower because I thought it just turned out so pretty. So it's a two-pocketed. Oh, and I put this flower-shaped button right here that I've had in my stash for a while. So it's a two-pocketed file folder. Let me know if you guys would like me to fill it up before I put it in my shop, or if you guys would like me to just put it in the shop for you to fill up as a gift for somebody else. So that is all I have for you guys today, and I will be back with more to share for you. I have some new stuff I'm going to be putting in my shop, so I will see you soon. Talk to you later. Bye.